always appreciate the weekly AMAs, Dan and Joe. And we appreciate you for checking us out every week. We appreciate all of you who join us every week. So can you explain about Ergo smart contract, real world use cases in short term and long term? So again, I think that's a nice question for Joe. What are your thoughts on that, Joe?
So where are we today in terms of Ergo smart contracts? I would say that right now we are still building out a lot of what I would call simple frameworks, right? And the beauty of, let's say, mastering simple frameworks is that, number one, you get pretty good at security assumptions, and you also create the building blocks for greater complexity. Now, if you were to ask the question, what does greater complexity look like midterm, and I'm even going to add long term here, I think there are two aspects of it. The first is understanding like the registers and verification that occur in Ergo contracts. And I think that there will be a dual progression where you do have the, let's say, advancement in complexity in terms of the, let's say, multi-stage verification aspect of Ergo script, but also the off-chain verifications. You know, I think that we'll see a lot of off-chain complexity come about as Ergo evolves in the long term. And then you get into really interesting use cases because, in essence, you're able to run a lot more complex logic. But being where we are now, I think that it's a matter of setting solid foundation and really building out solid, simple, well understood use cases in smart contracts that don't create too much complexity yet. I think that is ultimately coming, but you build the foundation of a house before you build the roof, right? So I think that we are still early in terms of the adoption and use case of Ergo script and extended UTXO in general. But I do think longer term, we're going to see a lot more complexity. And by the time we get to that layer of our level of complexity, it'll probably be a lot simpler because we have the documentation and tooling of basically everything that is new and revolutionary today. You know, give it some time and it will be just common knowledge and practice.